We made it to Kansas. We got up early enough to check a few cameras. We're only gonna go in one spot tonight. And I think we got, what, 3 in here? And we're gonna check out a couple of bean fields, see if they're beans. We're gonna try to glass, see if we can't find some deer. It's finally here. We're in Kansas. It's the start. We're killing a giant. I'll keep you all updated with what we see tonight.
Little buck. See? Yep.
So we've got a camera right up there at the head of that bowl. If any of y'all remember, this is our first camera we hung in Kansas this year during a turkey hunt. It's also where Rusty found a nice match shed or set of sheds. Should be a good spot. I got high hopes for it. Sorry if I'm not paying attention to where my camera's pointing, because some pretty nasty stuff I'm walking through. We're gonna get this camera checked, move on to the next one.
Growed up.
First camera was a dud. A few deer on it, but nothing crazy. Not what we're looking for anyway. Just a bunch of does. On to the next one. Alright, we've seen a few deer. Now we're hightailing it to these big bottom fields that we were hoping to see some deer in. We saw some in it this turkey season, so trying to get there before dark. I think we're gonna time it just right. Hopefully the camera can still see them now. It's getting pretty dark. May not look like it. Anyway, we'll touch base when we get there.
Big buck. Big buck. Big buck. Oh my God. Big buck.
Got on video?
Gosh almighty. Look at the junk. Gosh dang.
Rusty, that's 100. That's, dude,
He's 180.
that's
180. Come on. I told you they was here. I told you they was here. 180.
That's a world-class buck right there. He might be bigger than that, dude. He ain't done growing.
He has got some
We gotta call
junk.
Rusty.
He has got some junk. If he's up here, wait. If he gets in that open field, we might get some more. Come on. I'm so shook up right now.
Talk to Rustin, tell him.
Rustin. Oh my God. I'm so shook up right now. I can't hardly see him.
How many extra points did he have?
Oh my God. I'm talking a mega giant. He's world class. We gotta put a camera on this gap somehow.
Hey, he didn't run hard either. He just trotted
Oh
out.
yeah, he's fine. I mean, I'm not worried about
Tell him how big you think he is.
He's over 180.
Maybe 200 inches.
But you know what the kicker is? He's probably 14
14 inches
wide.
wide. Hey, he's like Scout on steroids for 3 years.
Scout on steroids, huh?
He had trash going
He
everywhere.
is thick.
He had 8 like it was 7-inch base. It was like dude, it's freaking.
I'm talking. We're
Baseball
talking
bats.
mass through the roof.
That could be a
Through the
200-inch deer, dude.
He could possibly be 200. He could possibly be 200. All right, we'll catch you later. Bye. We gotta put it in. Oh, big bug, big bug. Yes.
You got a video on?
Oh my God, I'm so shook up right now, man. That is a world.
Give
I
me your
didn't even easy with it now.
It's still on. Let's find out.
Man, I hope I press record. I was so nervous.
I don't think I went live on here or videoed this part yesterday, but me and Rusty went and checked those few cameras, mostly bust, and we decided to get up this big vantage point above these bean fields that back in turkey season we saw some deer come out in. And we're really not sure if they were actually planted. We're gonna go check it out this morning. We got up to this little perch. It's kind of a little ridge overlooking these bean fields, and we saw an absolute mega giant. He's so big, we really don't even know what he is. We got to look at him for probably a good 30 seconds, and we just know he's extremely tall, probably 14 inches wide, and had a lot of stuff going on. So we pretty much changed what we're doing this morning. We're going right back in there, and we're gonna put a bunch of cameras up in the area. I mean, we jumped him out of his bed, didn't spook him too bad. He ran off about 60, 70 yards, turned around and looked at us. So we're gonna go get this deer on camera. Start for a world-class public land Kansas deer starts today. It's on.
Try it. It'll be on him.
Hopefully we'll have pictures of him here this week. We'll see.
Ruthless mosquitoes.
First camera hung on our target buck this year. We don't know what his name's gonna be or what we're gonna call him yet. So we've come up through here and we're gonna surround this area with cameras. We were originally going to only have 1 or 2 cameras in here, but now we're probably gonna put 5 or 6, just kind of scatter them in this area. Right here, what we're doing is we're putting a camera on a gap, and anytime you're in an area that's pretty open or has a lot of just kind of like rolling hills and things, if you can find something that is a little pinch on a trail or anything that just kind of necks them down a little bit, it's an awesome area for a camera. So what we're gonna do, show y'all this gap real quick. Let's see. All this is where a drainage comes off this top and it pinches down where some cedars and stuff have grown up. Let's see, you can kind of see, and it's actually just a road that these trucks use, and he was bedded right on the other side of it, and when we bumped him, he just kind of trotted right through this, and he cut off down this drainage. So it's a great area to put a camera at. It may not be their main travel area, but if they're walking anywhere through here, he's gonna come through this little pinch, this little gap in this drainage. So we would normally put a big mock scrape right here. We're not going to on this road just because it's gonna be obvious. If they do, workers or anybody do come through here, we're probably gonna go off down the bottom, make some scrapes along the river bottom down there. I think we're gonna get pictures of this deer. He is a world-class buck, especially on public land, anywhere. Dang thing looks like a high fence deer. As soon as we get pictures of him, we'll definitely be showing y'all. And we'll show y'all a couple more of our camera setups we're gonna do. They're gonna be a lot different than this. This is a pinch. We're gonna go down there and find some good travel areas and make some huge mock scrapes on. I definitely think we'll get on this. One of the things that makes this spot so good for this deer and why he's been able to probably live so old is this is a huge, just kind of ridge top that runs, I guess that'd be east and west. And down this bottom is just big CRP. And then in the very bottom, we're gonna go look. Last year it was planted in beans. So he's up here with the wind on his back, and his wind, Rusty, it was on his back yesterday. Remember how that wind was blowing back towards the road?
Yeah.
Wind was blowing over this ridge over his back, and he was just able to see that entire bottom, make sure there's nothing coming up from the backside. And we just got up on him. You know, we come kind of in a marginal wind off to his west and got him pretty tight with him. He's able to see everything. It's a really good spot to bed. We found the beds that he's been using, and another buck that was with him yesterday. It's gonna tell us a lot. We're gonna spend some time in here today, see if we can figure out some trees, go ahead and mark them on OnX for any kind of wind. How to get in here is a whole nother issue. But we're gonna spend some time here and figure it out. This is a giant. We'll see y'all at the next spot. Okay, so we talked about that drainage up there. We put that cell camera, and we're coming down. I just got the itch to walk that drainage out. There was a little trail coming out right there beside our camera. Walked it out to come down to this big, just kind of like grown up CRP bottom, and I found a serious group of trails coming down this drainage. Check this out. We got the wild game already set up on it. Yep, smile. But you can see those trails going up through there, and they lead to a freaking giant scrape right here. Limbs broke, ground's worked. Let's see if I can get this thing to focus. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Right, you can kind of see it right there. There's deer hair on the licking branch. This thing has been used for everybody that says big bucks don't use scrapes during the summer. You're crazy. That's where we get 99% of our trail cam content in the summer, is on scrapes. We're figuring out the pieces of this deer. It's getting real serious. We got some good trees we can set up on here. We just got to find the right tree with the right wind, slip in here early, and get it done.
So we are trying to surround this buck. This field right here is normally planted, but as you can see, it is nothing but weeds. But we are seeing a few tracks around it. It's still a good travel area. But we're just trying to put a strategy together to try to kill that big buck. We know he's in here, and we're gonna put some cameras up and try to get him on camera so we can get a better look at him. We got a real good look at him last night, but I messed the video up on him. So now we're gonna try to get him on game camera and judge him a little bit better. We know he's big, but try to get a little bit better look at him. Dalton's in the woods over there. I think I might get over there too. His weeds are nasty. Walking the edge of this drainage, you can see I don't know if you can see that track. There's some
Big trap. There's that one up there. Look at this one.
big
Check
set
that
of
one out.
tracks. Oh man,
Jeez.
the big boy right there. That's what one main thing that I look for is those big tracks.
Yep, here it is.
Yeah, that's a mature buck right there. Look for those big tracks.
So we had found a spot during turkey season that we thought was going to be really good. A bunch of little ditches and creeks that were absolutely just destroyed by rubs and scrapes. But we really didn't get up in this higher side that's kind of CRP and just nasty weeds and whatnot. It's kind of like a rolling hill with shelves on it. And it seems like on each one of these little rolls there's a tree finger going through it, and with gaps, and there's some big beds you can see right here. Big beds right on the edge of these little rolls, like, and that's a pretty good sized bed right there. And if you'll notice, I mean, the wind's coming right over this roll, over the top of this roll, and the steer can see all the way down in that next dip. A couple spots to think about putting cameras. We've got one about 65 yards down that hill right there. We'll see.
Man, this circles back in here. Look back over there at how it circles back around.
I like all these little points out there.
Yeah. There's already, we're seeing
Tons of deer tracks compared to what we've been
a lot of
seeing
tracks.
after a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it just rained and there's already,
Crazy. I haven't seen any just giant tracks yet, have you?
not a giant track, no. But I like the looks of this. I like the way it lays.
We'll get back here where this creek kind of comes in.
Yeah.
Pinches that top. There's like almost like an island. There's just a peninsula up there is what it is.
A what?
Not a peninsula, but a peninsula. 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 Peninsula.
So we found this spot on the map and we are going to walk in here and check it out, even though we're exhausted,
Running out of time.
running out of time. But
Gotta go put more cameras up on our Mega Giant in a little bit.
yeah, we're gonna go throw a few more cameras on the giant buck that we saw yesterday evening. Try to make sure we got him covered. Try to get him figured out as quick as possible, because we are heavily considering hunting him early. We hadn't planned on coming up here real early season, but that kind of changed our mind.
We can get some consistent pictures of him.
Yeah, if we can get consistent pictures of him and get him on a pattern early, we definitely can adapt, change our plans a lot, and try to get him on the ground. So we're gonna check this out and then finish up the evening over where we saw him and try to get him surrounded.
Never know, maybe see him again.
Yeah, might see him again, but the spot here looks pretty good though.
Yeah. Now there's a little better track, a little bit.
Yeah,
There's mud. Warm up here.
well, it's sparse around the edge here, and
Yeah. Looks like it's kind of flooded a little bit.
not too bad at walking though. Flat ground.
Okay, so we are back after that buck that we saw last night. We have come in the backside and we're going to try to hang probably 3 or 4 more cameras, which will put 1, 2, 3, that'll be 6 or 7 cameras we're going to have kind of surrounding where we found him bedded last night. We'll be back up here in probably 2 or 3 weeks to check him, but what we're keying in on, this deer is bedded, or was bedded, probably 300 to 400 yards back this way. There is a fence row with all sorts of cedars and stuff coming up that we noticed he was using, and then running east and west there's a whole nother set that's going straight to a whole bunch of planted beans, probably a couple 100 acres of planted beans there. So we're going to assume, since there's no other food in the area, that he's working this hedgerow to get to these beans. And we just found a pretty serious trail already. We thought this big bottom field below where he was bedded was full of beans, but it's actually not. It was supposed to be this year and it didn't do it. It got too wet and it's grown up and just a big nasty mess now. Oh man. July, and we're already sitting here trying to figure out how we're gonna arrow a absolute freaking giant deer. We're gonna get busy. That didn't take very long. We are still inside of the truck. I just told you that there's a hedgerow coming down here, coming up, that we thought he was using, and then one going horizontal. And there is some serious trails coming right to where this fence is broke down. You can see the trail kind of going out of it right there.
this is perfect. We're gonna put a camera right on this gap. This is the main thing we look for back home, is any kind of fence crossings, creek crossings, just anything to pinch them down. Broken spots in the fence are a huge spot. Is there? He says there's 2 huge beds just on the top of this ridge, which is identical to the height of where he was bedded on the other side of that ridge. This looks good. Big bucks want to jump these fences that are broke down. I think we're gonna get this deer on camera. I just showed you where we crossed that fence, okay? And there's multiple reasons why they want to come this way. There's a drainage starting right here. This is like a major drainage that runs the entire length of this place. It also is paralleling that hedgerow that we were just looking at that's got beans. It's the border for the beans. So these bucks could potentially come along this ridge top with, right now the wind's blowing right over the ridge top, it's perfect. They could be kind of right here, funneling down that ridge, and then pop out wherever they want when they can get downwind that thing. We're gonna get a big buck down right here. Get him on camera, go after him.
We are wrapping up the day right here, and we found a really good fence crossing right here behind me. And we're gonna get a camera set really close. I mean, we're not very far from the truck. We're less than 80 yards from the truck. And we are trying to surround this deer. Man, this is a really good situation right here. We got a little, if you can tell, we got a little drainage ditch right here in front of me. There's a fence right here. We got beans planted behind this fence. And there's a sunflower field right back here where Dalton is. And right across from the sunflower field, there's like the top 2 barbed wires on the fence is broke, and I mean they're wearing it out right there. So we're definitely going to get a camera on that spot. We're going to walk down in here, and we think we can get a good crossing on this ditch here. Maybe get a camera there too. But we're going to load this thing up with cameras, and we're going to figure this deer out, and hopefully come back here early season and get a pattern on him and try to put him on the ground. Look at the body of that thing.
We're looking at the same deer? Is he looking right at us?
Yeah,